Oh, we up now. We running now, boys.
Yep.
We are up. I don't know how to see how many viewers we have.
That's why Twitch was better.
Alright, we're live. uh, that's funny. Only it shows one viewer, but it's us.
Alright, fam. You are first. In the question asking.
Alright, bro, let me use the restroom. Did I just say restroom? Bathroom.
We are the real JUSOS.
Alright, bro. Let's do this shit.
That was so late. Oh my gosh.
I think it's just the best we're gonna do with live.
It's all good, man.
And I don't know if we even need this because we can't hear ourselves. Or headphones.
Can you not hear me?
No.
Take yours off.
Yeah, I'm chilling. Okay. Alright, yeah, so we'll just ask each other questions and see what we do.
What's the title? What's the title of the podcast?
Let me see. Where did the chat go? Oh, there it is.
Oh, nice title. Nice title.
Come on. Oh well. Pass my jacket. Alright, man. How are you feeling?
Feeling tired, but we out here doing things.
Yeah, you look tired.
Tired
Anyway.
as bullshit. Man, I don't want to go home no more.
Huh?
I don't want to go home no more. You have to go home and get yelled at.
Don't tell everyone your problems right here.
Just saying. That's why I'm
Anyway.
tired.
Alright, let's see. We'll just ask each other questions back and forth.
Go ahead.
And if anyone's watching, please ask us some questions. Purpose of this podcast is to see what everyone kind of thinks about our community. And I want to aim it towards younger people because I relate to them. I see a lot of podcasts about polys, but they're all, no offense, but they're all older folk. And I would relate more to people who are younger like me, so. Anyway, let's see. Do you want to ask a question first?
Sure.
Alright, go ahead.
This one's about Andrew Tate and his the recent excuse me, the recent news on his being banned and his final message and all that.
Okay.
Has your views changed at all with the recent ban and all these people kind of switching sides?
Like from what side to what? From switching from where to where?
I see a lot of people like feeling bad for Andrew Tate now because he's getting like banned from everything.
Okay.
But like it's people that, well, it's kind of both ways because I've seen KSI switch sides. He was like cool with Andrew before, but now he's like celebrating his ban. But then I see like on TikTok a lot of people are like sad about him being banned. I just want to know if you've switched at all or if anything has changed due to any of this stuff of him being banned or whatever.
I just think it's insane how someone just could have a difference of opinion and then the world like delete someone. Like how can you do that? Like I just don't understand how he got banned from everything.
It's pretty normal now. People getting canceled for things.
Well, he like lost his bank account, or like access to his bank accounts. They were freezing things. For what? It seems too coincidental that he got banned and then lost everything. Is it because everyone's following a trend?
I think
like all of social media, they're not owned all by the same people. Facebook and Instagram are owned by Meta. He got banned from there. Then he was already banned from TikTok, like, or they said he's banned from TikTok. Then he got banned from Twitter. Got his Twitter taken down. They're not owned by all the same people, but for them to all ban him because he's a bad influencer, because he's misogynistic.
Do you think it's unfair?
Oh yeah. I didn't even know Trump was censored like that. He doesn't have a Twitter or Instagram or any social media.
I knew they took down
they banned him.
His Twitter because he's posting a lot of stupid shit on Twitter.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he got banned.
Yeah, no, he was posting like hella shit that people were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, low-key like shooting shots at everybody that was talking shit about him. I'm pretty sure. Like he was some like shit that a president wouldn't post on Twitter, but he was posting it on Twitter because he didn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what they said, but I know like it was people like
I think when you get to choose or pick and choose who you censor, that shows, to me, it obviously shows that they have power that is unchecked.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would they only cancel him? I'm sure there's other groups out there.
Yeah.
Channels that could be canceled other than him. He didn't have that big of a reach in terms of subscriber count.
Right.
Or just certain things, how they go against a certain group of people and they kind of have the power in it right now. If that makes sense. And they just get to choose who gets to talk and who doesn't. Because that's all he does is talk. He's not organizing crime groups or going out of his way to destroy people. It doesn't make sense to me. Who gets to choose who gets censored and who doesn't? Only the people who own everything. And for everything to get shut down at the same exact time is crazy.
I think it was I think it was inevitable for it to happen, for him to get banned, but
he talks about his 3 steps. I think that was part of his plan. He knew he was going to get canceled.
I'm sure he knew. Somehow, some way he was going to get canceled.
Now he's on platforms like it's Twitter, but it's called Gitter.
I heard Tristan
That's
mention it. I was like, what? Or my Gitter?
Yeah.
Or my Gitter?
Rumble? I think Rumble's cool.
I saw it. It looked really like
It's like Vimeo. It's not really as easy and you can't really navigate it as well as YouTube, but still does the same job. But I don't know, man. You shouldn't get canceled for that.
His bank accounts got freezed.
Yeah, they were freezing all his money. I guess, like they stopped working with him, like all his payments, payment processors like Venmo and PayPal. They stopped working for him, so he didn't have money coming in anymore. But I don't know what he's doing now.
That's weird.
I don't feel bad for him. He's still living like a billionaire. So
I thought he was just banned on all social media platforms.
Nah, he
not
started
banning his life. Like,
yeah, they were doing crazy stuff.
is that not illegal? Like, he did no crime.
Dude, it doesn't matter. That's just the way things are. You get banned and then you get sent to court if you're in America. He can't really because he's a sovereign.
Yeah.
He's a sovereign man.
No, that's just weird to me. That I don't know. I didn't know that was the thing. You can just freeze someone's account because of their reputation.
Yeah, Tristan got banned before from banks in Sweden because he ran. All his money used to come from the website or the webcams and stuff.
Well, well, that's different. That's not like them freezing it purely because of your reputation. They're doing it because it comes from a certain place, and they just don't like that. But they're freezing their accounts because they're just banned on Instagram and Twitter, and they're just like, oh, we can't associate. That's stupid, bro. That's like the sheep following the.
Well, that's just
the herd,
proof
bro.
that there is people controlling things at the
Oh
top.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, it's just because I don't know. People, did you see his final message?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. People warp everything. He said that like people will take like the small little snippet of like a full stream, and then use it against him. And it's like, it's crazy how much hate people have just to hate. Just because it sounds bad.
Yeah.
Society's come so far like down. Like I feel like everyone nowadays is like way too sensitive. I mean, Andrew's trying to bring it back to where we're like okay, but I feel like anything that hurts anybody's feelings is always like controversial. When really one person's hurt and then says it, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that does sound kind of bad," and then they all just start agreeing.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I think that's like the most annoying thing about like, I always associate that with the left people, because it's like they're like their thing is like going for like trying to include everybody, inclusivity, like you're accepted. It's like,
I think it's bad when you force people to accept things that they don't want to accept. I think it's okay to give people platforms, but I don't think it's okay to make people only focus on certain people on that platform. Like you should be able to have or go to a place where Andrew Tate can talk. Like YouTube. I don't think he's on YouTube anymore. I think he got cut down his actual channel. Even that's crazy. How does YouTube just like follow the crowd or like follow the power? I think he was saying that everyone is talking up high who owns everything. They talk to each other and says, yo, this guy's bad for our money, so we need to cut him down.
No, YouTube's been fucked up, bro. Like they've been really, really corrupt. Like
Abner Preach keeps posting stuff about black creators and how they get censored.
Did you watch the Corey Kenshin video? Yeah, that shit was wild.
I don't even know what Corey Kenshin is, but that was crazy.
Dude, Corey Kenshin is like one of the biggest. He's like a really big gaming YouTuber. Like he plays like horror games. That's probably the number one thing he's known for, because his reactions to it. But he posted a video of him playing a horror game, and they age restricted his video. And then there's another YouTuber, Markiplier, who played the same game and had the same situation in the game, but they didn't age restrict his. So it was just wild. It was like, it seems like someone on their policy team is racist. That's what it seems like. Cause I mean, why would you only restrict? And then you just gotta watch the video. But yeah, YouTube has been really, really fucked up for a long time, and I don't think it's gonna get any better. If anything, it's probably gonna get worse.
I don't know. Censorship is crazy just to keep talking. Anyway, do you have anything else to say?
I think I have one more. Do you have any thoughts about his final message, Andrew's one? He addressed a lot of
No, I think he has a
accusations.
plan. But I don't really. Just to be. I don't know. I have no other opinion.
I think it was good that he addressed the rape allegations and the sexual offending.
He had all the women come out and
Allegations
say
and
that it never happened. So
Yeah, I know. People keep saying like people the girls in my friend group, they're like, "Oh, like you know he's a rapist, right? Like he's a sex trafficker." And I'm like, I mean, where is it said? And they're like, he literally said that he's in Romania because the sexual offender or the sexual laws are like more lax.
yeah, that's not true.
I think he meant the laws in general are more lax, but it's not like they're gonna let him rape. Like,
he was saying that's racist for people to think that Romania would let that happen.
yeah.
I think that's racist too. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's I'm glad that he like addressed all that, because there's a dude named Daz that uploaded a video, and he said there's multiple girls that were telling him that they were like intertwined with Andrew Tate, and that he like assaulted them or sexually assaulted them, but none of their names were given, or nobody like came out. They said they're too afraid to come out because they fear for their safety because of Andrew. And I'm like, that's a really convenient way to say, like, it happened to me, but I can't say who I am because of I'm gonna get hurt because Andrew Tate is a bad guy. And it's like, oh, that's so convenient. Like, there are victims, but they're not gonna tell us who the victims are. They're not gonna say who they are. And I didn't know whether to believe it or not. But then when I saw that one chick that they're like, oh, there's literally a video of him beating a woman, and then the same girl in that video comes out and says it was all a game twice. She came up with a second video and said that shit. Like, I was like, dude, what the fuck? If you're fixing your mic, mute it, because it has a lot of noise when you're moving it around. Anyways, yeah, it was tripping me out because that girl came out a second time. And I was like, dang, she came out 2 times, bro. 2 times she was like, yo, stop being like this, guys. I think him addressing it meant a lot to me, because I was like, that's like the one thing that I was like, yo, could he actually be like a sexual offender?
Like a rapist?
Yeah, because the guy Dad said there's girls, like multiple girls, saying that he like sexually assaulted them, and that they didn't want to come out because of all that other stuff. But there's no proof of the girls saying any of that. There's no like, they didn't come out who they are, which I guess is, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think if it's true, like that they should come out and like challenge him about it?
Sure, he's not gonna kill them,
right? That's what. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was like, that's why I had a little bit of doubt, because there's multiple girls, not just that one chick with the blonde hair that got like slapped up and whatever, but it was like how they were doing.
And
their
people
stuff.
can cap all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do we know they're not capping? That's why. And people keep saying like,
he's the biggest man in the world, so why wouldn't someone try to get money out of him?
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, in my head, I was thinking like, what are you talking about? Like, where's the proof? Like, where's your video evidence? Like, this girl had, but then she even like defended Andrew. Like, you don't even have video evidence of it happening. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That shit is like, I'm starting to like be real skeptical about people now.
You just have to question everything. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't just say, "Oh yeah, she said it, so it's true."
Yeah.
Can't be a follower.
I was gonna say something else. About Andrew, like, fuck, I forgot. I was gonna say something else that was like breaking the matrix in my mind, but yeah.
All right, I kind of want to show you. I want to show you a video. Let's see if I can share the screen. How do I do that?
You gotta click scene 1.
Here, put your headphones on.
And this is why I was Mr. Producer, because I know how to do all that
Mr.
shit.
Producer.
So I'm saying like how people accuse him of being a rapist with no evidence. Why can't we accuse the people of being victims without no evidence? There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like you can't say he's a rapist, but then have no actual like evidence of him being a rapist.
Right.
And you have girls like falsely accusing dudes of rape all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then if like you know how the girls came out to dads and was like, oh, he raped me. Like, how do you know they're not capping right now?
True.
But then people like normal society would be like, oh, but like they would kind of just believe that. But if you say Andrew Tate's a rapist, then they would believe that. Like they believe everything that the victim says, but not what he would. Like they wouldn't question whether he's a rapist or not, but they would question if.
Just because rape for it to actually happen is so crazy, if someone says, "Dang, this crazy thing happened to me," they would be like, "Why would they be lying?" So they'd be more inclined to like accept.
Like they're trying to figure out, yeah, if I don't know. I feel like when you look at Andrew and you're like, and someone says he's a rapist, most people are just like, oh, okay, yeah. They wouldn't be like, why? Like, they wouldn't look further into it. But if somebody was like, I guess it's the same token to like people to like fake victims who like accuse people of being raped.
People just
like,
don't take two sides.
She's been raped. Like, even though there's no evidence pointing that she said she was, so it's true. But then when Andrew say he isn't, it's like, he's lying. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Evidence about it. Sorry, go ahead. Big screen it.
How do I make it so they can see the desktop audio?
Isn't that playing? Play the video. Go back. Properties.
Oh, shit.
Shouldn't it be the black hole one, 2 channel?
Desktop audio.
God damn.
Filters.
Go to the sound settings.
Oh,
Sound, yeah. multi output device. Yeah. It's yeah. And then click it on the OBS. And what?
Sources?
Yo, anyway, man, we got Ju gonna come in a little bit later, hopefully. I don't know, you know how Ju be getting. But anyway, we got an important episode, man. I've been looking forward to this episode for a long time. We got Kizzo in the building from Express Yourself Black Man. We're gonna have some well needed conversation, man. Let them know where they can find you at and a little bit.
Absolutely. So Express Yourself Black Man is a mental geared towards black men, of course. Mental health, relationships, dating, anxiety, insecurity, depression, just a variety of things that we normally consider taboo in our community, right? And it's all about solutions, right? So I don't like bringing up topics and things that are issues in our community without trying to have some kind of solution that's paired with it, right? So I do a lot of content around what's an actual issue in our community, and then how can we also solve it, especially as black men. Like, what can we do in terms of personal accountability that can help us to be better, so that we can be better in our community. And so we're launching something. We've launched something already in our platform called Safe Haven. It's a private healing community. What we have is low cost therapy. We have a free medical consultation, basically books and finds black doctors.
So just listen to the video, and then I'll pause it and see what you think.
Okay.
So it's a few Millie dudes who talk about what resources there are for black Americans. Their demographic is mainly men, and they talk about spaces for black men to express themselves. So in a way, I want to talk about how you'll see. I'll ask you a question after.
For black men, and then we also have like a community support, right? So we have a network of black men that are in there healing, actually doing the work. So that's outside of the IG. So people can find me on @Express Yourself Black Men on all social media platforms. But that's what we do. It's really all about solution-based thinking and not bringing up problems without us actually having solutions in place, or actually trying to bring solutions to our community, man. Because I think a lot of times we do a lot of that, right? Like we bring up a lot of problems, but we don't actually try and take action in solving those. And I don't want to continue to repeat that cycle. So
Right. So I wanted to ask you, how do you go about coming up with these solutions?
So the solutions that I come up with are for me, right? So these are things that work specifically for me, right?
Okay.
And so I consider myself, right, not to downplay myself, but I consider myself the average black man, right?
Okay.
Like I'm no better than you. I'm no better than you, right?
Ain't nothing
Like,
wrong with being average.
and
Stop
then-
letting these people tell you that average is
yeah,
bad,
right.
man.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm not
Right.
saying that there's anything wrong with that, but there's a power in that. There's actually strength in that, right? Because what that means is that if something works for you and you're the average person in your demographic, that means it potentially will work for some. Exactly, right? And what I found on the platform is that when I put up stuff and I say, black man, here's 10 things or 10 ways that you can do this, or 10 ways that you can deal with this. And I'm talking about from my personal experience, I got a bunch of people in the comments like, yo, bro, this is great. This actually helped me. You know what I'm saying? So I put up solutions based on what works for me. And I always say, if it doesn't work for somebody else, all right, that's fine. Let's figure out what works for you so that we can help other people as well, right? So we can have a conversation about it instead of arguing back and forth in the comments about things that aren't actually helping to push the culture forward. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I think about solutions. And then also evidence-based stuff as well. Always got to add evidence in there. Google and research stuff. I bring therapists onto the platform to have conversations on the podcast, to also collaborate on posts and stuff like that too. So it's a collaborative effort, but for the most part, when I think about black men in general and the average and how we deal with things, I try to think about it from my experience, and then also add in some evidence-based stuff that I've learned as well.
Got you. So, with that being said, obviously you special in you specialize in mental health for the black community, but specifically on black men. How important is mental health, physical health?
Feel like are at the pinnacle of their life and they're killing themselves, right? Or they're coming out and they're saying, I'm depressed, I need help, right? And there's nothing wrong with saying that, but it goes to show that regardless of what amount of status you have, how much success you have, how good looking your girl is or your man is, whatever the case may be, if your mental's not right, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't matter, right? So
Yes.
I think is paramount. Like, we have to get into a habit of not just identifying success as how much we have in terms of status, fame, money, all that kind of stuff, but success should really be a mindset and a peace of mind thing. How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about the things that you do? Are you excited about getting up and going to come record a podcast episode? You get what I'm saying? So we have to think about it in those terms and stop trying to equate success to money, status, all that kind of stuff. And I think mastering and understanding our mental health gets us there. Now, on the physical health standpoint, like I was never the person that was super big on physical health because when I was younger, I was super skinny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was hard for me to like gain weight, put on muscle, all that kind of stuff. And so, at first, it wasn't something that was at the top of my head, but I've learned over time that I use my physical health to also play into my mental health, because being active in the gym is important for us to actually make time to actually do that physical stuff, which is actually going to the gym, staying active, all that kind of stuff, bro.
Yeah, I think talking about the physical health real quick, because I do want to get back onto the mental health. But, you know, like you said, a lot of black men, because we have such a natural physique, you know, we don't necessarily think about our fitness until we get older. Then when your metabolism starts slowing down, like I'll be playing basketball. Like I ain't never had to stretch before. Now I finish a game, I'm like, damn, my back hurt, like my leg hurt, like, you know what I'm saying? Like my energy levels isn't as high, like my stamina isn't as high. So I didn't take those into consideration until I got older and I started to feel the effects on my body. So I was like, man, I got to get back in the gym more. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going up a flight of steps and I'm out of breath and I'm like, nah, this ain't me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But just to get back on the mental health, and that's another thing too, when you get older, you start to realize the value of mental health, because when we were younger in our community, mental health was looked at as number one. Our parents could never afford it. They looked at us like, oh, it's you ain't crazy, nothing wrong with you. Like, you know what I mean? So, and then
we just had that conversation.
Yeah. Like, so it was just like, and then also, well, if you really did need it, well, I can't afford it because, you know, sometimes in certain insurances don't cover it for like a therapist and things of that nature. So with those resources now, I feel like they're being more accepted. You know, I hear Charlamagne talk about mental health all the time and how important it is. And now that I'm older, I'm starting to realize, man, we all need mental health. Black men, black women, we got a lot of trauma, built up trauma that we need to be able to talk to a professional and, you know, be able to, you know, exercise those options.
And I think black people, we the ones that really put mental health to the side. For the most part, you look at other races, like other races been going to therapists and seeing therapists since they kids, you understand? And we might be the ones that need it the most. And we've been putting it to the side for forever. You know what I mean? But I'm glad like this is the generation that I feel like is changing and is more focused on it in the black community. I love that.
I think you get told a lot of the times to just kind of deal with it. Don't or just kind of like, why are you depressed? How are you depressed? There's no reason you should be depressed, or you're feeling mentally exhausted or some shit, you know? I feel like a lot of people, or a lot of Polynesian households, especially like the full Polynesian households that like full Samoan or full Tongan, mostly those households, they get told like you can't really be weak, which is like true to an extent, but like there's a time when, I mean, everybody goes through shit, right? Especially mentally. And I feel like a lot of Polynesians think they're too strong for it, or they think they can't be weak, or they shouldn't be, like, there's no such thing as like mental weakness, I guess.
I agree. I think Polynesians, we think because we have food on our table, because we have a house over to live in, like that's all we deal with. And it makes sense if you lived in the islands. Like if you lived in Samoa, or you lived in Tonga, or you lived anywhere in the Polynesian islands, that makes sense because you don't have any more problems than just to survive. So having a roof over your head and having food on the table, it's like those are the only problems you would have in terms of traditional Polynesian society. But now you're in America where there's so many things, so many more things that matter other than just your life and having a roof over your head, having food to eat. You have to think about how much money you make because you can't just grow it anymore. In America, mainly. Maybe in Hawaii, but even that is hard to think about. But you have so many more pressures. You have pressure on social media to live a certain way. And then you have society telling you to do certain things, get into big fields, putting a lot of pressure on you. And I think that's what's the disconnect is between the older and younger generations. Is that older generations, they're like
stuck in their...
They're stuck in the food on the table and roof over your head. That's all you need in your life to be happy. And then it doesn't address any of the nuances and real life situations that people go through, especially younger kids. Like mental health, for example, it's kids go to school. Say you're a second generation. We're more like third because our grandma moved here. Say you're second generation and then you grow up in school, but then you go home and you don't talk to anyone. You just know that your food's there and then you have a house and then your parents just kind of, they don't really talk anymore. And I feel like that's a lot of problems for a lot of polys now. Even though we're third generations, we still have problems of our own, but at least our mom and our dad kind of know they've kind of navigated better than first generation immigrants from Polynesia. So we have the same things, and I feel like we can talk more with our parents because they know that mental health is a real thing and depression's a real thing. I just don't think you should succumb to it, in my opinion. Like, it exists, but that's why I like Andrew Tate a lot, because he's kind of given people a solution to like being depressed. If you're not doing anything about your life, even as Polynesians, if you don't do anything, you can at least improve in a certain way. And I think the cure to depression, at least for men, I can't speak for women because I can't relate so much to women, but I can relate to you and I can relate to younger men. We kind of all deal with the same things.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with the pressure of having to provide one day or make money or just be a man in society. And that alone is a lot of pressure, but we can figure it out. And I think every young man, whether you're poly or not, you should listen to some kind of role model that expresses self-improvement.
So
like
how would you say is the best way to deal with mental health, like feeling depressed or feeling...
If you feel depressed because of your situation, then you have every opportunity in the world, especially in America, to change that situation. It might take longer, like than most for some people, and it might be shorter for some people. Some people might be creative online, and in general, online you can make money quicker. But say that's not your skill set, you can go out, and if you're only working 40 hours a week and you're coming home and watching Netflix, you can work extra. You can go to put 80 hours in a week. Sure, that's hard, but you're young. Like, you're under 30, you have no reason not to work extra. And I don't think everyone needs to do the same things. Like I said, work towards your skills. If you're good at making content, or you're passionate about trying to make content on the side, do that every day. Like, you have to work on it every day. That's what we're kind of trying to do. We're trying to stream. Obviously, it'll take more time for us to do it every day because of our equipment issues, but one day, once we have like a system down, I don't see why we can't come home and do something, either make clips or stream. Just do things that are productive, and we know that if we work at it, then one day it's gonna be big.
What about do you ever just feel like depressed or sad sometimes? Like, there's no cause for it. Like, you just kind of sit there and you're like, fuck, like you're just like in your head, and like you're just in your head and you're feeling like shit. Does that ever happen to you?
Do I ever feel like shit?
Yeah.
Sure.
How do you...
It doesn't randomly happen though. It's over like things that happen, like successful days in a row, something doesn't work out.
Do you? Okay. I guess it's like stress. Do you ever get stressed out?
Personally, I kind of thrive on stress.
You like being stressed out?
I don't know if I like being stressed out, but
It helps
if I'm
you?
sitting at home and I don't do anything, and it's not to me considered a rest day, like, oh, I could have done this or I could have done that, then I start feeling like shit. Or like that's when the shit feeling comes in. When I like during school, I kind of thrive in school because there's always something to do for me, and I feel like, oh, it's pushing me towards my goal, whether that was my degree in the past or doing something. And if I know I'm heading towards a goal with anything I do, I'm like satisfied with what I've done with myself. But if I like, for me, summers were not the best for me because I felt like I was stalling. I didn't have classes. I just keep comparing it to school because that was probably some of the most stressful times while I was in school. But I think there's a such thing as good stress and there's bad stress. Good stress is things that push you forward, and that if you have a goal and the stress kind of is hit burning you from the back, and you keep trying to push towards that goal and the stress is behind you pushing you faster, that's good stress. Then there's bad stress that's like unnecessary, whether that's bad relationships that bring no good into your life and you're keeping it around, that's bad stress. You should get rid of that. Or things you've made in your life that aren't good, like a crappy job that you hate and doesn't pay you well, like that's bad stress. You can change that. So I think you need to have more good stress than bad stress. I don't think it's good to be complacent, but that's just how I feel. I don't like sitting in a cesspool of the same thing every day, unless it's a job that I know is making me money and is sustaining me and it's gonna push me forward. If it doesn't make me feel that way, then it's bad. Then I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. Being stuck in one spot is probably my biggest fear.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I like self-improvement for the most part. It makes me feel personally like I'm fulfilling myself.
Do you think therapists help? Like talking about your problems and stuff, or
I do think forms of therapy help. I'm not sure if a therapist would help me.
Do you think it would help anybody in general with just mental health issues? Maybe not like serious ones, because obviously like that would require somebody of like a professional, but just for like the average person who's just going through shit.
Everyone's going through shit. I think everyone needs people to talk to. I don't think everyone needs a therapist.
Like a licensed therapist?
No, yeah, you don't need that. I don't need that. Like, I
No,
know,
yeah,
I'm aware. I feel like therapists are for people who don't have any, or who have problems not cleaning themselves, or like real depression where they don't do anything for their lives. But I do think everyone needs people to talk to, whether that's your community, whether that's your church group, whether that's your family, someone who talks every day, or someone you can confide into and will listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone needs that. And I think we lack that in our culture.
Like Polynesians?
Like men.
Men.
I want to say women have better time talking to each other. But men, like, that's why homies are so important. Like your boys. That could be that to me. That's a form of therapy. Like,
I feel like it's harder for men because we don't try to talk about that kind of stuff, and when we do, we look like pussies or whatever. You know, you kind of get looked down upon for talking about your feelings and shit. It's like, why are you talking about your feelings? I feel like I wouldn't talk to some people because I feel that way, because it'd make me feel like I'm a pussy. Like, why are you talking about your feelings? Like, why would you say that? Because it seems like they wouldn't care, you know?
yeah, you got shit friends.
I feel like people wouldn't. I feel like people wouldn't. Well, this is kind of just in general, like anybody. Like, I feel like that's why most guys won't talk, because they feel like that's how they're gonna feel after they say whatever they're gonna say. But girls don't feel that way. They just kind of say whatever, and whatever, because you know
The thing
It's just a
is
different
that
ball game.
everyone tells men to speak up more, like speak up, speak up more, speak up more. And other than other men that you're close to, no one really gives a shit. Like, no one really cares. Like, if I were going through something, whether that's at work or just like something like, unless it's you or someone really close to me, like the homies that have the time to speak to me or listen to me, there's no one else. Maybe my grandparents, but even them, I won't open up everything. But even if if it's little things that are on my mind, sometimes they're not heard. Whether that's from my relationships or from the women, my like mom, everyone cares more about themselves, and that's us. Like, that's every human to care about themselves. That's your main objective, to care about yourself. But yeah, it's more accepted for women to say things and feel like someone's listening to them. I often have trouble with people feeling like I'm heard. But that's why I want to start this podcast, because that'd be great to talk to someone, especially polys, about their experiences with these issues. Yeah, like mental health. Like, that's hard. That's a hard thing to talk about, even with your dad,
Honestly.
or with your grandpa. Like, they'll listen, but they'll give you advice and not really listen. And that's something that's hard. I think I need to do a better job at listening to you, but you listen to me really well, for the most part.
I think
We're getting really close.
enough.
Like, everyone's always told you you're like the therapist of our sibling group. That's why we all kind of draft towards you if we're close enough. But yeah, there's not many people like you. Not many people really want to listen, instead of just, or people would rather give advice or talk about themselves and their problems than listen to a man's problems. But that's what Agitate preaches. No one really listens. And he's just saying the things that we deal with maybe in a harsh way, but it's still the truth about how men feel. Like, yeah, a lot of people feel depressed. A lot of men feel depressed. But what do people really do about it? They just, oh yeah, he'll deal with it. He's good. And I don't know what the solution is to changing that. But I would want a place for people to talk and be heard by a crowd, or like, and the internet's the best way to spread it. So hopefully one day we can get people to talk to more.
I have a question. Do you think it's there's like a right? So when you tell, like, let's say Kalani, for example, if you were to tell him something, like you're going through something, and he tells you, "Oh, shut the fuck up and just deal with it. Like, just push on, bro. We can, like." I feel like there's like a different way that us guys talk to each other. Like, there's a "stop being a pussy" is like one of the tones, or the other one is like, "You got this, bro. Like, you're gonna get through it." Like the supportive kind of thing. I feel like that's for me, that's one thing that stops me from talking to people, because it kind of depends on the way they respond to what I'm saying. Like, if I'm saying something like I'm going through something, and then they say, "Oh, shut the fuck up. Like, why are you worrying about it? Just don't even worry about it." Then that deters me from talking to that person. I'm like, man, fuck you. Like, that's not what I wanted to, I guess it's like, that's not what I wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that a lot of dudes talk like that, and I feel like they're like, I feel like it's necessary sometimes, but like for certain problems. Like, if somebody's talking about something that's kind of like making them feel real shitty, I guess in a way, like their feelings are hurt, or like it's like about like their woman or something, and then you like, let's say you talk to me, right? You're like, oh shit, my chick is like fucking like annoying me, like it's pissing me off, it's getting me stressed out, I'm trying to do this and that, and I say, bro, shut the fuck up, like why are you being a pussy? Just stop stop being a bitch about it, you know? Would you ever talk to me like about that one problem ever again? Probably not, because he'd be like, man, fuck this guy, he's just gonna tell me to stop being a fucking bitch. I mean, like, obviously I was being one, but like, you know, that's not what you want to hear, especially about like a topic that's kind of touchy like that. If it was about your job, like, bro, my job is so like, it's so hard, I have to stand all day, then it's like, bro, just fucking do it, bro. Like, that's your job. You can stand. You're fucking like 21. You can stand or something like that. I feel like that's when that's more appropriate. Like, if it's something that they can do, they just like they're being lazy or something like that. But if there's something like that's kind of out of their control and they're just feeling shitty about it, there should be a different, like a change of tone. Because I think that's what deters me from talking to some people. Because of the way I know they're gonna talk to me, I'm gonna be like, man, I don't even want to hear it from them. And then just kind of keep it to yourself.
I think it goes back to listening. I think a lot of men think they have to give advice to people who are talking to them.
For sure.
But I don't think everyone needs advice. They just need someone to hear them out and like say like, yo, that's probably valid. Like, that makes sense. And then I don't think most people need advice. I think they just want to talk about it and let it be heard. Someone who's actively listening, not just like lollygagging, whatever. And then they, because there's two normal ways people, whenever I talk about things, they say, oh yeah, like, oh, that's not actively
that's
listening. Yeah, like, oh yeah, whatever.
They just kind of
like, I'll say something,
I'll say
something really important, and then they'll just not say anything, or they'll switch the subject back on them, or they'll talk about their experience. I think at times might be the better option, but I think just actively listening and looking at them and hearing them out and saying, that's tough, that's hard, and then asking what they kind of need, like what, or if there's anything I could do for you, like let me know, or it's because I want to say people just want to talk. They don't want to say something and be like, tell me what to do, unless they actually say it. Then you can give some
like,
advice.
I need help. Like what do I do and all that. Yeah.
That's what I think Uncle Juice was really good at. Just listening to me.
He was really good at that.
And then every time I asked him like, whoa, what should we do? What do you think about this? Then he would say something. So people like that.
Now that I think back, like that's all he would do was just like listen to everything. Even if you weren't talking to him, he'd listen and he'd
and I know he was
if there's
listening because he
something.
would laugh.
He'd have like cues and stuff.
Yeah, or just acknowledge like, I'm talking or you're talking, I'm listening, I hear you. Yeah, that's a gift not many of us have. I think you've developed a good way of doing that for the most part. Like, you're not perfect, but none of us are perfect. But yeah, you've definitely made that space for me to talk about things. But there's just nowhere out there for young men, especially Polynesian men, because we can relate the most to them, to do that. No one to listen to them. Or if there's someone listening, it's either they tell advice or they don't give a shit.
I was sitting with Rick one time, and this is when I was still dating Sam, and I was trying to tell him like how I was feeling and all that shit, and he would do exactly what you said. Like, he'd be like, "Oh, dang, bro, that's tough." Anyways,
Want to watch anime? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that killed me, because I was like, because he's like my best friend for like the longest time, and I always thought I could go to him and talk to him about stuff, and he'd care, but it seemed like he didn't give a fuck. That shit sucks, especially when it's somebody that you thought you knew or you thought you were like really close with, and then they just like crush what you thought, and you're like, damn, what the fuck?
Sorry, bro. I gotta cut you off. This fucking faggot Diego said do a flip.
Bro, I cannot. What's up, Diego?
I can't do a flip, bro. You know that. But yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But yeah,
no, it's all good. That's just something I could relate to, that like people not hearing me, especially me, since I'm the one that people usually talk to. So I don't usually have an outlet to talk out my problems.
Yeah, man. It's rough out here.
You know what I think is a really good alternative though, if you have no one to talk to? Journaling. writing it down in a journal, that is low key like therapy. Because if you have no one else to talk to yourself.
No, it's
it
fun.
works though. Like
it makes sense.
Really helps. It really helps. Like when I that's what I would do whenever I would like feel like shit and I didn't think I had anybody to talk to. I would write it down and then you could read it later and be like, damn, bro, it's.
I'll be honest. This is a form of journaling.
This
is gonna be on the internet forever. And at the very least, we can look back and be like, wow, we really felt like that. Whether things pop off or not. It's
I think journaling is a really good outlet for anybody going through anything.
I think that's one of the biggest takeaways I got from Andrew Tate is that he speaks on like self-improvement. Self-improvement is basically a form of journaling anyway. Like you can translate that into working out, and then your journal to look back onto is your body the way it is, or the PRs you hit. So if you think of it that way, that's what he's basically talking about. Like if you're overweight and you're not happy with it, go and journal. Go to the gym so you can see those changes in yourself. And you hitting certain milestones in fitness is a sense in your head like, yo, I did this. Like I'm looking back in my personal fitness journal and I actually hit 225 or I squatted 3 plates or those kind of things. I think that's a perfect parallel to journaling.
For sure.
But people don't have these mechanisms to do it with themselves, and they don't have people to talk to. Imagine someone who can't access this like these thought processes, and they don't have people to talk to. They must be the loneliest motherfuckers on this world.
Just feeling like there's no way out of.
I would say that only would happen with men.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because even if you're a girl,
you could get some kind of attention somewhere.
Yeah.
Like literally anywhere you look at someone and it's easy. I feel like it's easy for a girl to get attention. That's why I kind of had this bad like idea. I like not proud of the way that I thought before, but like I've had this idea of like women can't like. I guess it's kind of like how people think men can't be sad or men can't be like depressed or whatever because they're supposed to be strong. I was kind of thinking the same about women. Like women can't be like what's it called, like women can't be what's it called, damn, they can't be like sad about not getting attention or about not having people to talk to because they can talk to anybody and somebody would care. Randomly, like you can literally post a TikTok about being sad and somebody would be like, it's okay, you're gonna get through it, we all go through shit. But like if a dude was to do it, actually now it's changed. I think a lot of dudes who are going through shit are getting more attention from dudes, from guys, not girls, but other guys who also go through the same like kind of shit. They're also getting recognition from guys like that. Like if I see someone who's like, I don't know, boys about to end it, if they post that like on TikTok or some shit, there'd be comments of dudes being like, hey bro, you got this, don't think like that, like just like bounce back, it's all good, man. I think it's changing now, but definitely like before a lot of men's mental health was coming out, I don't think like if a dude was to do that, nobody would really give a fuck. Like an average guy that tried to post on YouTube, nobody would care. He'd be like, oh, whatever, it's just a sad guy. But if it was a girl, some dude would be a simp and be like, oh my gosh, don't even worry about it, queen. Don't even have to worry about it. You're gonna be fine. I'm here for you. Like you see like
power of pussy, bro.
You see those like memes where those guys, it's just like the side profile of the cartoons, and he has like a beard and he's blonde. It's like the girl is like, I'm sad, and then there's like people who are like, I'm here for you, and then the guy's like, I'm sad, and then this guy like, all right, cool. It's just one guy, or probably nobody, but you know, it's definitely like a difference in like how lonely someone can be from a man to a woman. Because women can get attention anywhere, but men can't get attention from women anywhere unless you're an influencer or some shit, or you're famous.
Yeah, you basically as a man have to find a way to make yourself important to get attention. So if you're not important at work, if you're not important socially, if you're not important online, it's like you kind of don't exist. Like, I can't imagine someone who has nothing. Like, how it must be hell, literal hell, being alone.
Like completely alone.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, everything gets lost. Like, I have you and my family. Like, we're good. So maybe no, you know what? Maybe there's polys who feel like they have absolutely nothing, even with their families. Just the way our culture is, to toughen up and.
Oh, I'm sure. I feel like especially I was saying before how like polys, like we all kind of like, it's kind of like a thing to stay strong. You can't be weak. Like everything's kind of like a toughen up attitude, especially for the guys.
Yeah,
it's like a stop being a bitch, basically. I feel like that's a big thing in our culture, and then that on top of like mental health for poly guys, it's like oh damn, like it's just not a good combo.
I don't know if this uploaded. I hope it did.
I think it did. It's not loading no more.
Is this it?
Remember, you gotta scroll. What does it say? Is it the first
AOT
half?
clip?
No. Go to your name. Go to movies. Scroll to the right and the left. Yeah, I labeled it first half Diego stream.
This one says MP4. Oh, this one?
First half Diego stream.
Oh, you were changing it to MP4?
No, they're all MP4. Should have been. I just been putting them in movies.
So you just have to drag it over to Flash?
Try. Still too big.
Can't be copied because it's too large.
Fuck,
That's
that's wrong
weird.
flash drives, dog. I don't even know how that's too large for it. I don't understand.
Oh well.
We'll do it later.
I can clip in and send it to you. And you can edit the clips.
Yeah, just try and cut it down to smaller sizes.
Cool. Yeah, that went deep. That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had any viewers. It's all good though. I need to change the thumbnail.
What's the thumbnail?
It's just our face on all of them. Oh gosh. Anyway. Yeah, we need to have Lorenzo on so we can talk about it.
He's in an interesting situation, actually. His his familial situation.
What do you mean?
He's been adopted, but like by another poly family.
That's a normal thing.
Yeah, I know it is. Like, I don't know. It's just I've never met anybody like that. So his situation is just it's like different for me.
Mm.
But I hear about it all the time. Like poly families adopting other poly kids. Okay, you have another question, or you want me to ask one?
I got a few more. Okay, who would you want to interview?
Who would I want to interview?
Yeah, who would you want to put on the pod?
Like the type of person, or someone specifically?
Someone specific.
Uh,
Like me, my goal is to interview Jason Momoa. You know this. That would be so sick.
I mean, I think anybody's goal to interview anybody famous would be awesome.
Yeah, but
Literally-
Jason Momoa is not anyone famous. I would want to interview people from Hawaii that are well known. Like Matt Tateo now, he's huge. He's on the fucking second place on Netflix for most watched.
Right. I don't know. I kind of want to interview anybody. I mean, people from Hawaii because they're from Hawaii and like we can relate, but anybody.
You want to interview people at different perspectives.
Yeah, because
probably.
you know, I feel like there's a lot of podcasts about like specific sectors of like the population, like top 1%, or like there's like always specific things, but I don't think There probably is. There probably is a bunch of them out there, but like there's podcasts for like ordinary people, like everyday people that you never really hear about. Like just no, I don't know.
There's no
If
podcasts
that's
like that.
boring, I feel like
Yeah.
that may be boring, but
They're probably not big.
yeah. But I feel like that's interesting because that's something anybody can relate to, any normal person can relate to, because then it's like that's like me. Like they're talking about people like me. Like, oh, I work a fucking
Relatable.
yeah. Like I feel like I would want to watch something that or people that give advice to people who live ordinary lives who aren't fucking millionaires or fucking dirt poor. You know
Like,
what I'm saying?
what is it like to be a FedEx driver?
To be like in the middle, like there's a gray area. People are talking about super rich or super fucking dirt poor, like people who can't like live in a house. It's like they have it hard. But then like people like don't. I don't.
Yeah, like I
think
said,
a lot of
FedEx
people-
driver.
Yeah, they're not people that talk about like normal middle shit. Like you have enough money to live in a house, but like not enough money to get out of the house or do anything else other than live in that house. You know what I'm saying? You kind of like make bare minimum. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's. I don't know. Maybe there's a culture now that people want to hear from people better than them, and that's what interests.
That makes sense.
Like, you know, like I could see what you're saying. There's a group of people for everything, but I would say vast majority of people want to hear who their idols or what their idols say.
Yeah.
So-
that makes sense.
Richer people than them. Andrew Tate, everyone wants to hear what he has to say. Everyone knows what he has to say, but everyone wants to just hear what he has to say next. So that's what's popular. That's what's popping. And that's how things go viral. But that would be cool to talk to.
I feel like
I would
that's
want to
what-
talk to polys though. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not excluding, but my issues can only be felt by other poly dudes. Like I can't really relate to any like white dude, and I can't really relate to black dudes. And there's spaces for that, but there's no space for polys on YouTube
Right.
or Twitch or any other streaming service. There's no place for younger poly dudes that I've seen. I hope someone shows me something, because then we could talk with them. That would be cool. That's why I want to talk with people I know, like McKenna. He's low-key famous. I think it's like 20K on Instagram. That's
Mhm.
funny how we think that's famous, but that's definitely famous to us.
Hell
Like,
yeah,
I'd
dude,
love to
that's a
talk-
lot of people.
I love to talk about to him like what it's like to live in today's age. Like he talks about it all the time on his profiles. What it's like, he interviews regular people. What is it like to be Hawaiian in Utah? What is it like to be Hawaiian in Hawaii? What's it like to be a tourist in Hawaii? What's it like being, or who's like your favorite artist? And it really spreads like the like Polynesian in general. And his stuff's more lighthearted, but I'd love to get to know his like the nitty gritty about his mental health or what he thinks about mental health and his experience as a Japanese Hawaiian, and if that changes his outlook and his feelings, whether they're good or bad. Those things would be interesting to explore. It's already interesting enough for me and you to talk about, because we have different views already. But yeah, that's the goals.
I think
That'd be
yeah,
cool.
I pretty
If-
much said what I gotta say.
Yeah. We should interview the guy you work with, the poly dude.
Ephraim?
Yeah.
I can ask him if he
Yeah.
wants to. That'd be cool. He's a cool guy. Cool cat.
People your age would be cool to interview.
Ephraim's like 30.
Well, like even Sherm.
Yeah, I can ask them if they want to come on. I asked him and he was like, "Oh, bro, I'm so down."
Yeah, that'd be cool. Just to hear different. Since you said he's a little weird, that'd be cool. Who's
Yeah.
that, Lila?
Yeah. Don't answer.
I don't know. She can hop on the stream.
I'll answer.
All right.
All right, do you have another question, or you want me to ask one?
You ask. No, I have one more question after that, and then I'm kind of done. But
Okay, I have a kind of just like a topic. So, I've been watching this dude on YouTube. His name is Cole Hastings. He's like he does like videos on like self-improvement.
Okay.
And he shows kind of like a different perspective of self-improvement. Cuz he talks mostly, it's more like mental health improvement, cuz a lot of the stuff that he talks about
yeah,
I feel like I forgot where I was going with this. Like, I'm nicer than most, and I don't know if I've debated like whether it's good or bad that I'm nicer than most, and I'm like low key realizing it's a little bit on the bad side, because it's like, why be nice to them when they're not nice to you?
yeah.
And that's happened. That's happened on a couple occasions. Like, I'm nice to somebody and they don't reciprocate it, and I'm like, man, what the fuck was I nice for then? You know what I'm saying?
I think if you be too nice or be too friendly to certain people, then you're getting drained. But I don't think it's a bad thing to be like overtly nice to someone new you meet ever.
You think so?
Yeah, there's a point to where you're being too friendly, and then someone kind of takes advantage of it. But then, if you're a friendly person to every new person, I think that's good. That should make you feel good about yourself. But I don't think being friendly to everyone is a good thing, because some people aren't friendly back. And then, like I said, you don't receive. I think it's good to put energy out there to everyone, like just surface level though. Like, if you're in a relation, like, see if you have a friend that's really toxic to you and you're still super nice to them, and they're condescending or they're never nice to you, like you need to change. You need to.
So it's like people that you already know that are like just kind of.
It's just deeper. Like, if you're giving, when you meet someone, you're never giving 100% of yourself. You're always like 10% face value. I think that should always be a good friendly vibe.
The
But-
good 10%.
Yeah, but if you're giving 50, 60, 70, starting to go into that, and they're not giving that back, you need to cut that off so you can put it into yourself. Like, your energy is everywhere, bro. Like, if you want to hand it out to everyone, you don't give any to yourself, you're gonna be suffering. If you hold it all in and you be selfish and you don't share, you won't build solid relationships with people. You gotta understand all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you this Cole Hastings dude understands, like, it's all, you gotta be self-aware, very self-aware.
Yeah, I think that's one common theme that he keeps kind of
Know yourself.
pushing on. Yeah, being very self-aware about how you are as a person, how you feel.
That all ties in with self-improvement.
I feel like being self-aware is kind of hard to do though.
There's so many.
Figuring out yourself, because you have to do things you're not comfortable with to figure out who you are. And there's one of the videos that was one of like the more entertaining ones, was how to ways to, I forgot what the video was called, but it was it was like ways to not care, help you like not care about things. And so one of them was to embarrass yourself publicly. And that's just something that like anybody would be like, bro, fuck, like I'm not gonna do that. Like, go stand somewhere and do like the cringiest dance you could ever think of and do it in public.
See, you know what the funniest thing is? You'll get the attention, but it fades really fast, and then no one really gives a fuck that you did that. So in the long run, that shit doesn't matter. It just matters to you
Yeah.
if you let it matter to you. Because those thoughts, say you do something really dumb in public and someone sees it randomly, like, wow, that guy's an idiot. They go on with their day, 10 minutes later, they forgot about it. The only one who remembers things is usually the person who did it. So if you learn how to control yourself, yeah, bro, your life turns around.
I feel like I just had a thought just now. I was just thinking like, if I was to do something publicly, like embarrass myself publicly, I'd want to do something that at least I thought was cool, or something that I thought I would be okay with embarrassing myself for. But I feel like I kind of like, does that defeat the purpose of embarrassing yourself publicly if you're okay with what you're embarrassing yourself with?
I don't
Like,
know.
let's
That's
say-
an
let's say-
interesting.
Let's say you're
Experiment.
okay with doing some cringy ass dance because you do them all the time and you're just like, whatever, I don't care. Like, does that count? Because you already don't give a fuck about what people think. You're just kind of doing it publicly now.
Sure.
I don't know if that counts, because you already don't care. If you did something you're uncomfortable with, like you had to go like propose to someone random, and then they like, you put that person on the spot and then you get like center of attention the whole time, then I feel like it'd be like, I don't know, because this, if it was something cool, I'd like go out there and like start breakdancing. If I could breakdance, I'd be like, oh yeah, I could do that. I feel like I'd look, it kind of depends on how people would look at you. Either you're cringy and dumb, or you're cool and different. That would kind of differentiate how I would feel if someone was like trying to tell me not to give a fuck about anything and like go do something in public. If I was breakdancing and I could breakdance, I'd be like, I bet. But if I was like, do something weird, like scream on the top of your lungs just in the middle of like a busy area, and just have everybody look at you like you're fucking weird and stupid, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I feel like I have a hard time, like if I was to try and do that, I would chicken out, embarrassing myself publicly.
Well, if it's all in an effort to be less caring, then you should do it. But if you're just doing it,
No, like that's why I would, because I'm so uncomfortable with that. I'm so uncomfortable with like awkward tension
sure,
or awkward attention.
That's an interesting thing to do to build that skill.
Just to not to, because in reality, no one really cares, but they'll care for like a second, and that's like the 1 second I'm like, fuck, they're gonna look at me like I'm some fucking weirdo. But then that's when you push through and you're like, I don't give a fuck, and you do it anyway. There's this dude on TikTok, and he like, hey, can you record a video for me? And he gives it to him, and he does like, and he just sits there like, and he starts dancing. Like, it's a cool dance, but he just starts dancing, and there's people just looking at him, trying to get past him through like aisles. It's like fucking Target, and he's just like dancing in front of people, and they're just sitting there like laughing at him. But he's like, he just keeps going. Like, I would never do that shit. Like, ask a stranger to just watch me do a dance in front of them. Like, nah, man, I'm good.
I think it all matters what you're doing it for. If you're doing it for yourself, that's good. If you're doing it for money, that's good. Like, why not? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just don't like being embarrassed like that.
It's all right.
It's too much attention for me, man. I feel like that's what most people don't. That's what most people care. It's just too much attention. They're just like, they're gonna think I'm weird.
If it's all in the light for self-improvement, I don't think it's bad. Or I think.
No,
it'd be
yeah, I
cool.
know it's not bad. I'm just saying it's like it's just something nobody would do. Or everyone's too scared to do.
Sure.
But I feel like if it's uncomfortable, then you should probably do it.
Yeah.
In that light, in self-improvement. Like, if you feel uncomfortable doing something that could improve your life, you should probably do it.
I think it's pointless to do all that if you don't have that social anxiety. If you're a normal person, I don't think you need to do that. But if you're like, you can't talk to anyone, then yeah, you gotta go do something to get that extreme feeling. And you get desensitized to it. Then you're like, oh yeah, I could talk to anyone. Nothing. But I don't know. You have to really care about what other people think about you to
have to
improve
do
from
that. To have to do that and have it matter.
To make yourself better. Like,
yeah. So
it doesn't matter. Like, for me, it won't matter. I want to be the same. I think I'm open to talking to anyone.
I think I can talk to anyone, but I'd still be like nervous or.
It just depends what your goals are. If you have a real problem with caring, then yeah, go do something and then learn how to not care. Like, if that's your goal. If you're fat, go to the gym, get better. But that's like a toxic way of me saying it. Like, I wouldn't actually tell someone, like, I don't know how to tell someone that. It's hard.
Tell someone what, that you're
the truth.
Oh.
But that's why Andrew Tate's so popular. He doesn't care. It's a big circle we're just talking about right now. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about like just publicly embarrassing yourself. I just feel like it's hard for people to do because it's so weird for someone to do that. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you have any more questions?
No, that's it.
Okay, what do you aspire to be? Say in a year.
Like, character wise or like,
I don't know.
Job wise?
Whatever you think. What do you want to be in a year?
I'm trying to think of like a good answer. Because I could say independent. I want to be strong. But I'm trying to think of something better. That means something. I don't know. Maybe like more like a.
Like, you want me to say mine?
Stronger. I think I want to be stronger mentally in a year. Or someone who's. I don't know. I feel like my mental fortitude is pretty weak. Or like just my headspace. Yeah, I don't know how you say that. Like, I feel like when things get to me, and I'm like, damn. And I kind of, for a second, like, I know that I'll have to push through it, but I'll still feel like shit.
Let me give you an example. If you were doing like bowling, and someone like on the side like laughs when you mess up, does that get to you?
I don't think it would get to me if. Oh, maybe it would, cause if it was like consistent making fun of me, like the whole night I was bowling, they're just like, are they saying things or are they just laughing by themselves? Like, they're trying to keep it so low key that I don't know, but I do know.
So, like, for example, Rebecca and me went to bowling with our work friends.
Yeah.
And then there's a dude there who works and he runs the bowling leagues. And I was bowling and I wasn't bowling my best. And then I didn't hear him, but Rebecca says back there, I bowled, and he's like, yeah, he's okay. Like it wasn't a very praiseful.
He was just critiquing you.
Not
Like-
even that. He just watched me and said, whatever. And Rebecca was way mad. Like she was mad about it. Like she was pressed about it, and then she told me, she's like, yeah, he was talking, like he was just undermining your talent or like undermining how good you are at bowling, and I just like really. She cares about it because she's kind of defending me in a way, but I really personally, after I heard it, I was like, that's all right. Like I don't doesn't make me feel any different.
That's pretty mild though. Someone just being like, If he was like, damn, he's fucking ass. He fucking sucks. Then it's like,
I would still be like, it's just whatever. It's your opinion.
yeah, that get me kind of gassed. I'd be like, yeah, fuck you, man. What do you mean I'm trash? This is my best bowl.
Oh, what about at work? So I was saying that as was learning at work was so new. Everyone was always telling me I was wrong. Like, oh, I'm wrong. But like, no, do it this way. Do it better. Like, hurry up. Do it better. I was like, that was like nothing to me. It might be because the job I worked at before was so much harder. And that getting criticized here was like, and I've heard worse.
Right. I don't know. I
So
feel like
would that make you feel a certain way?
if
Like discouraged?
yeah, for sure.
I think it didn't discourage me. Like I said, because I compare it to my other job where I was just getting yelled at all the time by patients.
Right.
There I was like,
What
where
if-
the heck, yeah, where were you? Or like yelling at me, peeing on me, or like, just like crazy things.
Where were you?
No. But they were like, just like things that would make you upset.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever, even in Hawaii, like Hawaii, I hated that job in Hawaii. Like I compare like my job now is so easy, or so much easier than it was. Like no matter what anyone criticizes me for, I guess I know I'm a good nurse, so I don't really care what anyone says about me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing that could trump the experiences I've already had in terms of work and like the things I didn't want to do, but I still did it. So whenever I do something easy and someone criticizes me on it, I'm like, I know what to do. I don't care. You can say whatever you want, but once I'm on my own, can't.
What if you started at the job you are now? Do you think it would discourage you?
Yeah. Cause not knowing, yeah. If I was new and I started it, that's all I knew, it would be tough. But because I know worse,
It's just
it could be a lot worse, and I've experienced a lot worse. This is cakewalk. It's like nothing. But that's another thing. I don't know why I keep saying it. It's just everything Andrew Tate talks about is so true. Because he talks about the best parts of life is when you get to enjoy the best parts of it, but you know the worst parts of it.
For sure. Because you know you know light from dark.
And
You can enjoy it and be like, I made it. Like here. Because I could have
it's
been
so
there.
much more satisfying than just only knowing the good. Like if you're rich, he says being born rich is probably the worst, because you can't get better than already rich. Like you
Right.
can't self-improve because you're already given everything from the get, so you don't know what it is to build.
You're
Whereas-
starting at the top.
yeah, but when you literally start from the bottom and you make it to the top, that probably he says that's the pinnacle of human existence. Like that's the best thing you could ever experience. And so far, I see nothing like objectively wrong with him saying that. That's so true.
For sure.
I haven't made the top of anything, but I've been worse, and now I'm in a better position. So in a sense, to me, my personal experience, what he says is true. But that's why I relate to him so much.
I think in a year, I want to be someone who's been kind of low, I guess. I don't know. I kind of just want to build, I don't know. Like
We're starting from the bottom now, everything we do.
Yeah. The kind of person I want to be like
The very best.
no one ever was. Nah,
I want to
for real.
be Cooper. All right, go.
I'm trying to think like I think my mental right now is so like all over the place. I'm trying to self improve, but I'm still getting rid of old habits that I had from a year ago. I think in a year I wanna kind of be stable in my head, cause right at the moment I'm like kind of scrambling everywhere. I feel like that's a big thing for me. Like just that's why I've been watching Nicole Hastings, dude. Cause a lot of what he talks about is mental health, how to like be okay in with your own head and all that shit. So I think that's just something I need to get down pat, especially by a year.
That's a good aspiration.
That's something I need to work. Like my mental, my physical. I feel pretty good physically. I got a new job. I keep hitting the gym. I'm looking better than I was a couple months ago. So
Wish we could pull up a fat picture of you.
oh, dude, we should. We can next time. I'll send you when you can put it on your computer.
Oh, when you clip it, you can put like this is a picture you look like now I'm
me
this.
before and me now. That's what we're clipping. Me fat and then me now. I feel much better now. Like now, I feel like my physical health is pretty up there, except for my fucking knee or my hip and my back. But other than that,
So mental fortitude is what you're trying
mental,
to
yeah.
improve yourself.
Because I never thought it was my head before, but like I have a lot of fights with myself because of like the habits that I had before. Like I catch myself falling into it. Because a part of me now is like I'm self-improving. Like a part of me now is it knows what's wrong, but the other part of me is like fuck it, do it. I don't give a fuck. Like just do it. So it's like I have a constant battle with myself. So hopefully in a year, I want to be able to just kind of be only that one part that's bettering myself all the time instead of conflicting.
Amen.
What about you?
Dude, to see like 1,000, like the number 1,000 of subscribers on this would be insane. Or to see a comment like saying, this is cool, you guys gotta keep it up.
That's really encouraging.
Within the year, if we
That's
get one of
hella
those,
encouraging.
shout out to you. We're gonna have you on the pod.
Come out to St. George, man.
No,
Get on
this
the
is
pod.
this year has probably been one of the craziest like self-improvement years of my life. Like just actually trying to do things and put my money where my mouth is different. We tried drop shipping. We probably still are kind of trying it, but we haven't really done anything with it.
Yeah.
But I feel I've always wanted to create something. I just never had the confidence to try to create.
I feel like having the balls to just do it. It takes a lot of like
Dude, I know. I feel so humble.
not giving a fuck. Like just go and do it.
We literally have no one watching this. This is crazy. And I still feel so proud.
I feel like people are watching us. When
Bro,
we
what if
post
in the
it,
future, like a year from now, this shit's like 300K? I'd be like, yo!
and no one was watching us at the moment of recording it. But one day.
I'm not going to manifest it like I'm against people. It's just like saying you're going to do it, but I'm going to do it now, bro. We'll just, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop.
I feel good doing it.
And I would love to just talk with people and post it and then be like, I want to be known one day, like, yo, this guy does this. Other than nursing, like nursing's cool. And I'm grateful that it's going to sustain my life for a long time. But I never thought of myself as some kind of influencer. Like, man, that's impossible. There's no way. But the mindset I have now, even if I don't get it, I still believe in myself. So in a year, I want to still be doing this. I want to still be making YouTube videos and getting a lot better. That would be my biggest goal. And then hopefully, make some money from it, but if it doesn't, it's fine. I'm good mentally. I'm going to get better physically. I know how to. I just got to stop being lazy and do it. But being confident in creating content, that's going to be the goal. Just knowing like, yo, I'm a YouTuber, bitch.
bitch.
You know what I mean? It was so hard for me to think of myself as
Him.
no.
I'm him.
No, I'm already him.
I'm him.
I'm already him. Like I'm already him. Like I don't.
It's he.
But I'm not him online,
'Cause
or
I can
I'm not
never be
him as an influencer. Like I want to influence people to be better, or talk, or start things like this. Like I'm being dead ass. I don't know any poly podcasters in America besides Will Nakuzi, like the dude I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
Him, he's cool. Talks about dating. I'm not really that into like talking about dating.
Mm.
I'm into the truth and making yourself better. And I want to see other poly dudes make themselves better. Whether that's creating content. Content is probably the least tapped in place Polynesians have been in. Everyone knows we're athletes. Everyone knows The Rock and Momoa and like famous people, like entertainers. But yeah, I really believe polys can be more. They can be influencers. They can be content creators. They don't have to only lift and be big people. They can be big in other ways. Hopefully one day I can inspire. That's the goal, bro.
Looking out for the smaller polys. I like it.
Just all polys, bro. We're just.
No, yeah. But if you're smaller, you have.
In my head, if
you can't be athletic, it's like, damn.
In my head, if we get big somehow, that's a win for Polynesians.
Yeah.
Because we're expanding the mind frame of what we can be. I feel like we're in this little box.
Athlete, lifter.
Entertainer, like that's big poly. That's really all polys are known for, being big. They're not known for being creative people.
Mm.
They might be known for working hard.
Music sometimes.
Regular jobs. Not even music. We're not even that big. Name one like mainstream star besides island reggae bands.
Oh, well, that's what I meant by like
entertaining. Yeah, that's basically all we're known for. Entertainment. Athletes are entertainment.
Yeah, they
get paid because they entertain. Singers, entertainers. Movie performers, entertainers. I guess YouTube content is entertainers, but it just hasn't been tapped into.
I feel like, I don't know too many.
But I would rather it be more on a self-improvement, like mentor. That's the vibe I want. I want to be known as a mentor. Maybe not in a year, but over time. That's what the purpose of this is. I want to grow it.
I think I'm so young I can't be a mentor, but I'm glad I'm like experiencing it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just be the relatable guy on the pod. For all the other guys my age, they'll be like, yeah, he's like me. Like, he's my age. It's like, yeah, man.
You're 19, I'm 24. Next year will be 2025. We're still really young. Like,
yeah. It's crazy to think that we're young. Like, I've only lived 19 years, and I'm like, damn, I'm old as fuck. But then really, it's like,
little baby.
I'm about to live like 30 more.
It's crazy. Right after high school, the world just gets bigger and bigger. Like, he's so huge. In high school, crazy. It was like Hawaii, and then here, like. But now my mind is like, I want to reach someone in fucking Samoa who want something different.
Yeah, it definitely opens up. You get more of like exposure to people anywhere else. Like because in high school I wasn't thinking about anybody from another country.
Bro, like, and then there's creators that are in high school that are that have millions of subscribers on certain platforms, and they have such a big reach.
Yeah. That's just pretty wild.
I would say who's poly, or at least Pacific Islander, who's expanded in ways that aren't conventional. I would say Bretman Rock.
He's a
YouTuber.
Yeah.
So in a way he's kind of forged his own path. He has his own makeup brand, like he has his own thing going on, and I can only appreciate it. I can't think Patrick Star, but then they're all like in that space of Mahus.
I don't know. I can't really.
I don't see anyone like me. And I think there's millions of us like me and you. Just normal people.
Normal polys.
I guess until we're not normal.
Yeah, but.
Do you think we talk about being bigger too much, or I do
What do you mean?
like being bigger than I am.
Like social, like
Yeah.
getting like growing?
Yeah.
No. But at first I thought you were talking too much about money. After when we're starting when we started this, you're like, I just want views. And stuff like that. I don't know. I mean now you have like a root idea for why we started it. So now I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. But like before I thought we were just doing it for money, and you were like, it doesn't matter what it looks like, or it doesn't. That kind of annoys me, but I think that's just because of my mindset. My mindset is just kind of different. Like when we started the website, I was like trying to make everything as nice as possible, but you said it didn't matter, which is true. Looking back on it, it's true. That made sense. I was like, I was doing the most for nothing. Like, I get that now, but it's at the time I was like, I mean, we're just gonna make a shitty product for someone to come and hopefully buy it. Some old person who doesn't know what they're doing, they just buy it, and then eventually we like remodel it. Like, why not do it now? I don't know. My mindset for like starting things and making it as good as I can make it.
Yeah,
it's
my
kind of
mindset
different from yours.
My mindset wasn't in that way. Like
I could tell there's like a difference in
it
when
was
we
like
started.
it was more of a business than my own brand. And I was saying, oh, it's gonna be a brand. It was whatever. But in my head, it was never really a brand. It was just a business. Like, this
Yeah.
isn't just a business. This would be great if it expanded into like something that generates us income. But like I said, even if it doesn't, like, this is cool. This is all like insane to me how you even bought these, and I have a computer and I have a ring light and we have a place that looks sick. Like, that's to me is already like,
Yeah, I think I think
this is a lot more different. It's more personal.
when I wanted to be, when I was little, I always wanted to be like a YouTuber and all that. Even now, like when I get my motorcycle and all that, and I eventually make YouTube videos for like riding my motorcycle and all that, I don't think I'm gonna care if it gets monetized or not.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to make videos that are fun and just cool to watch.
I would rather be really big and not make any money from it, but have a bigger impact, than me make money. Like, the money secondary.
Yeah.
If I have 500,000 people that listen to me every day, and I don't make any money from it, I would still do it because of the people. Like, wow, those people who care or like who want to learn from me, that alone is enough. And I already know that money's gonna come with that, if we decide to monetize it, which we probably will. But that's just the nature of
I
things.
feel like when money is the main goal, it never goes.
it
always seems
goes away.
fake. It always fake. It seems like they're not doing it for you. They're doing it for the money. That's why I don't want to monetize. I mean, maybe I will just so I can get something from it, but I don't want to make it only about the money. Like I just hate that. Like when I see YouTubers, like they put like they do things just for the money, like stuff they wouldn't normally do, and they just do it for the money. I'm like, dang, bro, really?
Like,
It's
who?
like that.
Call them out.
I don't know. I just
Calling you out, bitch. Whoever you are.
I don't know. I see. It's just random times I'll see like maybe they're like trying to push an ad, and it's like they don't really believe in the product, but they're just saying it to get the money, or to like advertise the brand or the product, the brand or the product,
The Brad.
the brand.
No, yeah. You know,
I just feel like when money is the central idea, it's fake. Everything's fake.
You know who changed for me that I think about?
Who?
Rice Gum.
Oh, yeah.
And he changed his content. It used to be funny, and then it turned into like bringing on bitches to watch him play video games and then
Like
doing stupid
that.
games.
Like
I was
that's
like,
just for views. Like that's not what he.
I was like, that is not fun. I'd rather just watch you play video games. Like, you don't need girls there.
Yeah.
It made me feel weird watching him. I was like, dang, I remember when you were funny.
Like when people do things genuinely instead of for like another purpose. Like we're doing this genuinely. Like we genuinely want to make a platform for people, mostly polys, but anybody to come on here and tell their story or something we can learn from, like self-improve. Anybody just learning, like a learning space. Genuinely, we're not doing it because we're like,
We're a school. We're a free school.
basically, yeah. free interviews, just like interviewing people that can teach anybody anything. And I feel like that's better than like if we're here just for the money and we're just faking all this shit that we're talking about. We're just like, oh yeah, I totally think self-improvement is so good for you. When we really don't give a fuck about it and we're just here for the money. Like that shit is just like it's just lame.
Yeah, I think I definitely have a passion. Like I've told Rebecca, she's the only one I really tell about it. 'Cause she's the only one who will like listen, like believe in me. Now you believe in me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we can take it somewhere. I catch myself slacking, but then you tell me like, what do? We got to do this. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. Because I know I was like, when we didn't stream Friday or Saturday, I was like, and you're like, are we gonna stream today? I was like, oh yeah. And then when it got closer and closer, I was like, we can stream later. Like I started pushing
I like
it
being
off.
like here, like. Well, it's kind of hot in here now, but when it was cool, and I just like setting things up or like looking up about it.
Yeah, well, you're in the space where it happens all the time. I'm like out of it, so when
That's why
I'm
we
out
gotta
of
live
it,
together,
I'm just
bro.
like,
It's gonna be
I
crazy
know.
when we do. We have our own little studio.
yeah, that'll be nice.
But this works for now. It's nice. It looks nice.
It looks good as long as it looks good for the stream. It's nice.
But I have new mics. Return this one. Get one.
Can you still return it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll return it. It's nice though. Honestly, I don't want to, but we have it.
it'll be better when we have the.
We have more options with
Yeah,
the
so-
devices. But yeah, man.
You can
I
keep it
wouldn't
for your
mind-
gaming channel one day.
I don't game like that. I don't know. Do you want to game? Do you want to still stream and game?
I streamed a little bit of Minecraft earlier today.
Bro, you should.
Yeah, because I was like, fuck it, bro. If I'm gonna be at home doing nothing,
Make
I
a
would just-
background, like a green screen background. That would
Hey.
be so sick or funny. Like, who's that tall dude? The glasses on, the big mustache, Mr.
Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, his one is the best because he's just funny all the time.
Yeah.
Like his character, I like it.
You know, it's like 6'8".
He's not 6'8". He's tall, but he's not 6'8".
He's 6'8", bro. I saw him like
In real life?
videos of him like standing next to people. He's literally like feet taller than like people at like that are announcing shows and shit. And they're not short white people, like they're the tall white people. And he's like towering. Like, his
Beautiful.
chest is above their heads. I'm like, ah damn, boy. He's big. He big. Goddamn. Yeah, man, self-improvement is the fucking way. For the right reasons. Oh man. I'm excited to watch this back. Just cause it's gonna be like my sexy ass voice on this microphone. Yeah. Sound deeper than it really is. What? Oh, like just record it? Like screen record it as I'm watching on YouTube and then
Yeah, that'd probably be easier, and you can do it
Probably.
all from your phone.
E.
Like you don't have to do it on the computer. The first stream we might not with Diego. I might just do it because it's hard to transfer it back to you and your computer.
Yeah. We just need. We probably have to buy like an external hard drive, like a big disc one, like the big ones that's like a terabyte, so we can just load shit on there and take it wherever.
I don't know. Don't most people just clip from YouTube anyway? Like all of Andrew Tate's stuff, all the people that clip from his is from the YouTube. Like he doesn't get sent stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably easier just to do it from there instead of shipping the actual videos from each other.
Is
Anyway,
that it?
yeah, man. Gotta get another person on. I want to get Damien, but he's always with bitches, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, where's Damien at?
I don't know. I hope you're watching, Damien. You're supposed to be here last night.
Freaking donkey.
No, he was on a date yesterday.
Hey, getting saucy with it.
Big guy.
Getting
No, we'll
saucy
have
with
him
it.
on. Hopefully. You leave Friday?
I leave Friday. Yeah, Friday morning.
You got a video. You gotta talk with
Kalani.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
I'll talk to
just
him.
stream off of like make him download OBS and then stream off his computer. Well, I don't know if he has jacked up shit, huh?
Yeah, his like living situation is weird. I don't know how he's living. I'll probably
guess
just
you could
stream
do it
from
on-
my phone, like just
Yeah.
walk around and be like,
We
"Yo,
can't
what's up,
do it
guys?"
on YouTube, but you can probably do it from Twitch, right, on your phone.
Yeah.
You have to have at least 1,000 subs on
So
YouTube for us to do it from our phones. So we can't do it.
lame. The fuck?
We had more views on Twitch, but
Yeah, I feel like
maybe
Twitch,
we could. We need to stream from both.
live streaming on Twitch is the best because that's literally all it's for. Is just for live streaming. So
Can you
when they go on
record them?
Twitch, they know what they're looking for.
You
What?
can record them on that platform, right? Because I see people having like old stuff on there. Because you can clip that and put it on YouTube.
I mean, yeah, you can clip it on Twitch. Like you can
No. Like people have uploads from before.
on Twitch.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know how it works. We're just gonna look into it.
All right, bro. I'm out.
We out, sons. It's so far, bro. You gotta leave my way.
Wait, hold on. I gotta make sure it's in the video.